Hello and Happy New Year. So I thought for the first video of 2022, which is hopefully going to be better than the last couple of years, I thought I would do some Baijiu reviews for you, specifically focusing on the Nongxiang strong-aroma style. So just to back up, if you're new to this, Baijiu, the most popular best-selling spirits category in the world. Mostly focused on China, but not just China. Distinctive in that it's grain-based, right? You're starting from grains, but you're not making a wash. You're distilling it in a solid state. So you're taking your grains, you're steaming them, getting them real hot, mixing them up with this stuff called chu, which is basically like a little biobombs. They're sort of, it's yeast, but also fungus, bacteria, stuff that should express the sort of terroir of where you're making your baijiu. You mix the stuff up with your hot grains, you bury it underground for some length of time to let it do its thing, sometimes up to a couple of months, and then you dig it back up, put it in your still, and you steam it again, because there's no wash. You steam your sort of grain chew, fermented, moldy, funky mixture, and then you get your baijiu, and then you age it in not in oak but in clay, and it is especially fun and a deeply underappreciated category in the U.S. We should be drinking more of this stuff. So one of the there's many different regional variations on baijiu. I think the most prominent one, at least in the U.S., is the again the Nongxiang or strong aroma, strong smelling style. So I've got two examples here to taste for you and review. Oh, I can smell it already. They're not lying with the whole strong aroma thing. One of these is from Wuliangye, which is by market share the biggest producer seller of baijiu in the world, which makes them the biggest producer and seller in the largest liquors category in the world. These guys kind of Moutai from Guizhou are larger in terms of I think they make more money. These guys actually sell more bottles. So this is one of their entry-level bottles. This isn't the big boy. This is the little Wuliang Chun Baijiu, and it's going up against an offering from Luzhou Laojiao, which I reviewed in the past. This is their Bainian, which is an upper-level bottling, and I'll talk more about this in a second. But we'll start with a little Wuliang Chun. By the way, I apologize profusely for my pronunciation of all this stuff. I'm doing the best I can. Hopefully you care more about my getting this stuff out there than about my ability to get any of this stuff right in pronunciation. Okay, so this is a budget offering from Wuliangye. It's made from 5 grains. That's actually what the name means. Wulang, 5 grains. 36% sorghum, 22% rice, 18% glutinous rice, 16% wheat, 8% corn, and bottled at 50% alcohol by volume. No information on the age of this, how long is spent in clay, but I'm guessing not long. And again, it's from Sichuan province. So here we go. On the nose of this Wuliang Chun. Young and raw, but kind of in an appealing way. Lots of fennel, lots of like floral notes, violets, lavender, like just fermentary floral stuff. But the fennel is leading the show. It really smells like very kind of raw distillate. I do not think this spent very long aging, if it spent any time at all. It probably spent a little, but not very much. And then you're getting a lot of those sort of funky, fruity Baijiu notes. The orange peel, the like rotting orange peel. Like it's you set it out for a little while and it kind of gets a little bit of the white stuff on it. Lots of pineapple, like like stewed pineapple. You threw some pineapple in a pan. You kind of boiled it down. But beyond those sort of notes, which are not uncommon in strong aroma Baijiu that I've experienced so far, it also smells kind of fainty. It's hard to pin down on the particular notes. It just has a sense of like faintiness. It's a little bit of just kind of off notes from the grain. Hard to nail down. There's a little bit of like a malt liquor thing. Like a funky candy corn aspect to this, which reminds me a lot of my misspent youth in my very early 20s, drinking, King Cobra and Hurricane and St. Ides and Steel Reserve, God help me. Steel Reserve was the worst of them. And there's a little Roquefort cheese in there too, a little like blue sheep cheese. It's interesting. It's very character. There's a ton of character in this, but it does have that sort of fainty nature to it. That's kind of like not cheap, ricey-ish beer kind of character. But I kind of like it anyways. Okay, on the palate. Yeah, again, confirms the nose. Feels, okay, tons of character. Feels pretty young and kind of primary and a hair bit rough. So again, we're on fennel, candy corn, pineapple, orange peel, orange pith with a little bit of rot in it. And again, those funky malt liquor-y kinds of notes. Camo. This tastes like camo. Okay, I don't know if you remember camo. Is it still around? They had a normal version, which had this like crappy, cheesy-looking camouflage thing, and then they had the black version, which was absolutely god-awful. Not as bad as the black version of Steel Reserve, but it was terrible. And if you took that and you kind of like put a bunch of fennel and like fruit flavors into it, that's kind of what I'm getting on this. But nice. Less floral on the palate, more solventy. Yeah, there's a little bit of a kind of alcohol solvent thing going on here. Again, it feels a little young. Not bad though. Let me give this one more shot. Yeah, there's a kind of like fresh sweet potato thing. Like you just dug up a sweet potato, now you're like licking it, and there's some dirt and like the skin and that kind of thing. All right, we will come back to this with water. Interesting option. The problem with this is that the Luzhou Laojiao option, which is actually cheaper, the Erko Zhou, is, I think, considerably better than this. But again, we'll give it another shot after, once it's had some water, and we'll come back to it. Very young, very young. I get the sense that this would be far better with age, which I imagine the more expensive ones are. But moving on, this is the Luzhou Laojiao Bainian, Baijiu, also from Sichuan. Slightly simpler grain, I can't say mash bill, can I? Grain mixture. 80% sorghum, 20% wheat. Bottled at 52, is that right? 52% alcohol. This is a little bit more expensive, so I'm kind of cheating here. I didn't intend to put these together in the same video. I bought these on two separate trips to Liquor City in China Place in Chicago. And I thought, what the hell? They're the same style. Let's head to head them. So again, this is an upper level offering. It's going to be older. It's going to have different cuts. But let's see what we got on this. That's interesting. The nose is actually much more shy than the Wuliangchun. Again, we're getting fennel, but it's a more complex fennel. So it's like regular fennel, but then like almost toasted fennel, or maybe even some fennel you like threw with a little bit of water and you kind of stewed it up. Different levels of fennel. I don't know if that makes any sense. Little old bubble gum. The orange note is there, but it's more like almost like an unripe orange, like an orange that still has a lot of green on it, that kind of thing. And lots of clay. There's lots of just like fresh river clay, like you're trying to make a pot or something, and you kind of like smell it. Again, it's a very quiet, subdued nose. There's a little bit of, not even hints of black pepper in there, but it's almost more like not even the peppery part. It's more like the shell of the pepper. Do you know what I'm talking about? Like almost the smoky aspect of black. I don't even know. I'm doing the best I can. I don't have a lot of experience describing these smells yet. Yeah, quiet, but very interesting, very promising. On the palate. Oh. Oh, Lordy, it's not even close. Okay, I know this is not fair. This is more expensive than this, but it is not even close. On the palate, this absolutely dismantles the Wuliangchun. I mean, polish. This has polish. In a previous video, I think it was the Maotai one. I compared Baijiu to champagne, because you're paying a ton of money for these things a lot of the time, and a lot of the time, what you're getting is the mouthfeel. This is so polished and silky. It just feels nice. I feel like it's massaging my mouth. And it's massaging it with a mixture of fennel and orange peel and yeah, pineapple slices, but also like snow peas. Yeah, there's like a slightly green thing. I'm gonna go with snow peas. Some spearmint, some like a little cheese, not blue cheese. This is more like a comté, a Gruyere maybe. Some like slightly citric tobaccos, like Oriental tobaccos. And lots of river clay. Oh, God. And just that endless sort of peppery, fennelly, clay, kind of smoky finish. What kind of smoke? It's kind of peppery, but not really. It's almost like if you took a bunch of tea leaves and set them on fire. So like tea leaf smoke, that kind of thing. Killer, absolutely killer. All right, let's give this a little bit of water, see what happens. Let me check to make sure I've added enough water to these. That needs a bit more. Okay, while I'm waiting, I may as well show off the packaging. Baijiu producers seem to put a great deal of time and effort into the packaging. At least once you're out of the very sort of basic basic cheap stuff. They tend to throw crazy boxes and stuff into these, and these are no different. So with the Wuliang Chun, even with it not being that expensive, you get this cool little box here. Very sturdy cardboard. You know, not expensive, but very well made. Looks nice. Looks very red and gold, and it also has this cool. If I can show you, this little cool hooky closure thing, which actually hooks over when you close it up, so you can't open it accidentally. I am totally into that design. That is very cool. But it is dwarfed in ridiculousness by the box for the Bainian. It has a little display thing for you to put your bottle in. There you go, like that. So the case has a mechanism for you to, there's like a clasp mechanism for opening and closing this thing that is completely unfathomable to me. So I basically tore it apart and now it's sort of ruined. It's also a little bit terrifying to hold because you're afraid it's going to fall off. So they give you a carrying bag. How great is that? Look at this. I have to say, boxes and case designs are not really my thing, but I appreciate the effort. It gave me a good laugh. Okay, let's get back into this. Back to the Wuliangye. Now with a little bit of water. Interesting. So the fennel and the sense of youth tones down those sort of slightly fainty notes, the kind of camo notes. It actually becomes a little bit more floral, if anything. Those kind of lavender and violets and field flowers things coming out. A little peppermint, maybe? I don't know. Not a lot of development, but it's there. I am going to put an older version of this on my list. Because it feels like it just needs a little bit more time to really show what it's got. Tons of character in the spirit, though. All right, on the palate. I don't know how I feel about that. So it does clean itself up a little bit with water. Brings out a little bit of sweetness too. But also brings out this kind of slightly chemical ashy thing on the finish that I'm not sure I like. A little bit of like a oh, what is that? There's a sour note in there, like a sour cranberry thing, kind of creeping in. It's more floral in the palate too. Not bad. I'm kind of fond of this, but it's also like it's young and it's simple and it's a hair too edgy for me. Yeah, that's about what I got. I would give this an 82. I was thinking of like an 82 minus, but no, it's not. It's not bugging me that much. It's more like just a straight 82. Let's call it an 82. $82 out of 100 for Wuliang Chun Jiu. Not bad. Hopefully I can try an older version of this one of these days. Can I just say it is delightful that this is so popular? I mean, this is 50% alcohol, tons and tons of character, and yet one of the best selling spirits in the world. Stunning. All right, back to the Luzhou Laojiao, the Bainian. On the nose with water. It opens up a little bit more. It's still not sort of, coming at me out of the glass like the like the first one was, but it opens up more, becomes a more overtly fruity. It's got this kind of like minerally fruity characteristic. Oh, what is that? Also, a little bit of cherry on this, actually. But like cherry that's been crushed with rocks. It's very rocky cherry, if that makes sense. Pineapple, but also pineapple shell, so that like the shelly bits are in there. More peas, some spearmint. The spearmint was in the palate before, but not on the nose. More clay, some like what is that, like boiled cabbage, and lots of white pepper. Tons of fun. I do like this stuff. Okay, on the palate. Oh, this is good. Dang, this is good. With water, becomes rounder and creamier, but at the same time much spicier. So we're talking like just pineapple and green orange mashed in like peas and Gruyere cheese, and all of it smothered in river clay. That's kind of what I'm getting. But again, it isn't really about the particular flavors and the notes on this. It's about the texture, the silkiness, the smoothness, if I dare say the S word. Wonderfully poised. Really impressive. This is good. I had to pay a bit too much for it because China Place, Liquor City, I mean, they're in a shopping center, and they're a tiny shop. They have to pay a ridiculous rent, I'm sure. So markup is considerable, but you should be able to get this for $60. And for that price, it is actually a hell of a bargain. I'm gonna give this 88 points out of 100. Really good. If you're looking to get into Baijiu and want to find something that's going to be kind of readily available, and good and representative of the genre, here you go. Go find yourself a bottle of this. And I guess that's all I got for this. 82 points for the little Wuliang Chun, and 88 points. 88 points for Luzhou Laojiao Bainian. Strong-aroma Baijiu. You should be looking into it if you haven't tried some yet. That's all I got. Thanks for watching. Cheers.